Hey guys, it's the Flippin Hippo. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel at Flippin Hippos. So recently I have done a couple of store reviews and I've looked at specific listings and items for people who asked me to just kind of look at it with a different eye and maybe try to give them some feedback or constructive criticism on why certain items may be taking longer to sell than they should be. And in all the stores I looked at, all the listings I looked at, all the items I looked at, I keep seeing the same 5 mistakes over and over again. I don't really like the word mistake. I'm not a fan of that word. Let's say I keep seeing the same 5 things that could be easily fixed to help increase sales. So I want to talk about those 5 things with you really quickly. A lot of these I've already done videos on in more detail, like specifically on that topic. So I'll be linking a lot of stuff for you guys down in the description box tonight. Number 1 is titles. The number 1 thing that I consistently suggest or give constructive criticism about changing is titles. There is a specific formula that eBay does suggest you use. It's an easy formula. I have a whole video about it. I will link it down below, but it's basically the brand, what it is, gender, size, and then your goodies at the end, all of the adjectives, descriptors, and keywords. And I consistently see these titles that are just bad. I don't know how else to say it, but I see titles all the time where they're just, they need change, they need revamped, and that could be a lot of the reason why a lot of things don't sell as quickly as they should, because people need to take a look at their titles. In addition to the formula, it's never a good idea to have all caps in your titles. You don't want ampersands. You don't want apostrophes. All of those characters are just taking up valuable real estate in your title. You don't need punctuation of any kind in your title, and it can distort the search results when people are looking for your items. If you have like the ampersands or like apostrophes, you don't need it. You don't need all caps. You just need, women's can be without the apostrophe. It's not proper English, but it's okay to do on eBay in the titles. You want to leave all of that extra stuff out and just get down to the gist of what you're selling. And you want to use that formula. And you do want to stay away from all caps. You want to stay away from words like rare. Vintage is okay if it's actually vintage and it's part of your description. And you don't want, you don't need to be putting in new with tags or NWT. For the most part, buyers don't generally know a lot of the acronyms that we use anyway. And right below your title, when they're looking at your listing, they can see if it's new or used, and there's a description there. So you're just taking up, again, valuable real estate when you put in new or whatever. If you have enough room for stuff like that, that's okay. If you have written out a good title and you still have a lot of space left, and that will happen with certain items if you have a shorter brand name or whatever, then it's okay to say new in box, but type it all out. Don't use the NWT or whatever. Those are just my suggestions for titles, and of course the formula came straight from eBay. I will link the video below. It goes into a lot of more detail about your titles. And then pictures, you guys. I just did a video last night about taking good photos. I will link that down below as well. But yeah, the number 2 thing I see is pictures. And I would say the top 2 things I see that could be hurting sales or making an item not come up in searches on people's listings is titles and photos. I see a lot of dark pictures. You guys need to have better lighting. You need to have good photos. The first thing the buyers look at on your listing is your photos. They're not reading. I guarantee you they're looking at the pictures. And if they're dark, if they're hard to see, if they're on a dirty floor, if they're on furniture, it doesn't look good. You need to have good photos. I cannot stress that enough. And the ones I'm seeing that particularly I would suggest people change are the ones that are real dark, not showing the item well enough, if that makes sense. And then excuse me, I'm sorry, whenever possible, you want to put a measuring tape next to items in your photos. I don't do it with clothes, but like with purses and plushes and coffee mugs and plates, when you're telling them it's 12 inches or 4 inches or 8 inches, you want to have the measuring tape across the plate or next to the plush, just to kind of show them. I think it helps people get a better idea exactly how big an item is, and they know that you're being honest 100% in your description of how big it is. I won't go into much more detail about pictures. Like I said, I did a video on it last night. I will link that down below. And then your descriptions. Descriptions should not be novels. They should not be walls of text. Your descriptions should be short and sweet, to the point, succinct, and that is it. When you have a wall of text or just a lot of information about whether or not you accept returns, I think that's a big turnoff for buyers. Number one, I don't think buyers really read descriptions to begin with, at least the majority of them. And the reason I say that is because every day, all day, I get more than one question from someone on eBay or Poshmark asking me about something that's in the description. They will literally ask me for measurements that are in the description. They will ask me what the material content is when it's in the listing. Buyers are consistently always asking questions about things that are already in the listing or the description because they did not bother to read it. So putting up a wall of text, I don't know what that's going to accomplish anyway, because most people aren't. If they can't be bothered to read, a short description with just measurements, they're not going to read a wall of text or a novel. So number one, they don't read it, and you're wasting your time putting that description in. Unless you have it in like a template or you're copy pasting, obviously you're not wasting your time typing it over and over. But I still think it's a big turnoff. I think buyers see that and they just will go away. They won't want to buy your item. It's a deterrent. Like, why do you need to explain all of these things? They just want to buy your item, if that makes sense to you guys. So just like clean up your descriptions. You don't need like different colored fonts and all caps, and you don't need to go into all these details. Most of the stuff is in the item description part of the listing anyway. That's where you can say if you accept returns or not. You set your shipping to free or not. So you just don't really need big descriptions, lots of text. People don't like it. And then the mobile thing. Well, I know that it's been like 2 years since the whole big deal about making your listings mobile friendly came out. It was like a couple years ago. Every YouTuber was making videos about it. Everybody was talking about it. But unfortunately, not everyone has fixed it yet. There are some people whose items I've looked at or stores I've looked at that after I was done looking at it on the computer, getting my constructive criticism together, I'll go on my phone just to check and make sure that their listings are mobile friendly, and sometimes they're not. Don't think that just because you're using your phone to list that your item is automatically mobile friendly, because it's not. You've got to make it mobile friendly. I do have a video on that as well, which I will link down below. So if you aren't sure if your listings are mobile friendly or you don't know how to do it, you can watch that video and make sure that your listings are mobile friendly. And that is super duper super super important, because a lot of buyers are not looking at eBay on their computers or their desktops or their laptops. Most people in 2019 do all their online shopping on their phone, and they will do it, they'll go on a smoke break at work, on their lunch break at work, sitting in the doctor's office, wherever. The phone just makes life so convenient, and everybody's looking at these things on their phone. And if your listing is not mobile friendly, and they can't see everything in one nice little neat mobile friendly screen, they will surf away from your item and go to someone else. If it's not mobile friendly and it doesn't look right to them on their phone, 100% guarantee you they are going to leave and go buy it from somebody else. So it's very important that you make sure your listings are mobile friendly. And yes, I still see some people whose aren't. And I don't want you guys to not be making sales because people are leaving because it just doesn't look right on their phone. So like I said, I'll link that down below and you guys can make sure you go ahead and check yours and fix that. And so the fifth thing here is shipping. And this isn't so much, I guess, about an easy fix to get better sales, but I notice a lot of mistakes in shipping when I'm looking at things, and I don't want anyone to be surprised when it comes time to ship something or end up losing money or having to eat it. What I'm seeing is people who are offering free shipping, their prices are way too low. You have to build the shipping into your price if you're offering free shipping. So if you wanted to offer free shipping on, let's just say, Lucky brand jeans, most of the time those go around $22, $20. So you would, when you're comping it, you would find people that were listing those jeans for maybe like $12 plus shipping, or maybe 10 or 11 bucks plus shipping. You can't list yours for 10 or 11 bucks and offer free shipping. You've got to build the shipping in. And I see it time and time again, and I don't know if it's just because people are in a hurry or they're just not thinking when they comp. But if an item that you comp, you're getting the same price over and over again that you see, so you know that's what you want to price it at. If those people are charging shipping, you've got to add that into your price to do the free shipping. Shipping is not free for us. And we have to be, you know, making the money to ship the item to the buyer. And honestly, at the end of the day, there really is no such thing as free shipping. If you're offering free shipping to your buyers, you're still charging it. It's just that you're charging $22 free ship, whereas everyone else would be doing $12 plus shipping or whatever. And then the other mistake I see, and this is really, really important since the rates just went up to the USPS, I see people with like the flat rate shipping on items that I know is like not going to be enough if it goes, you know, far away across the country, and then you're going to end up, you know, losing money, especially if you take like a best offer and then it goes all the way across the country and the amount you charged for shipping wasn't enough to cover it. And what I would suggest for that is to just do calculated shipping. If you're not going to do free shipping, weigh your items ahead of time and put the weight into the listing and charge calculated shipping. That way you're covered no matter what happens. If somebody buys it one state over, they will be charged accordingly per the weight and how far the item went. And if somebody all the way across the country buys it, they will be charged the proper amount for it going that far. And as we all know, one of the changes with the USPS this year wasn't just a shipping price increase. First class is now charged the same way priority. So it's by weight and how far it goes. So if you used to just say charge a flat rate of $3.50 for anything, you know, 8 ounces and under, that was great. But nowadays, it may not be. So I would just recommend, if you're doing free shipping, absolutely 100% make sure you're building that into your price. And if you want to charge shipping, weigh your items. Know how much your packaging is going to weigh too. So don't just weigh the item and then put that in. You got to know, is it going in a poly? How much do the poly bags weigh? If you're going to box it up, how much does the box weigh? And then put the weight in your listing and charge calculated shipping. That way, no matter where it goes, you're covered and you're not going to lose money. So you guys, I just wanted to briefly touch upon those 5 things tonight just to kind of help you out. These are 5 really super easy fixes that you guys can start implementing as you list new items in your store. And then maybe if you have some time every day to look at 5 or 10 of your older items and double check, are the titles following the proper formula? Are the titles good? Are your pictures good? Are they bright enough? Do they look good? Does the front photo or the main photo of your listing show off the item to the best of its ability? Is it your best photo of the item? Are your descriptions short and sweet and to the point and not walls of text that are turning people away? Are all of your listings mobile friendly so that when people are shopping on the phone, they won't leave and go buy from someone else? And last but not least, make sure that you're charging shipping the appropriate amounts so that you're not losing money when the item sells. I keep seeing that over and over, like I said, not only when I'm looking at stuff, but I keep seeing it in Facebook groups, especially since the increase recently and that change with the first class, that people are having their butts handed to them and they're eating money and they're losing money on shipping, and I don't want to see that happen to anybody. So just, you know, like I said, moving forward with all your new listings, you can implement this, and then just take some time every day to look at maybe 5 to 10 of your older items, or maybe if you do like 30 days, every time they go to the unsolds before you relist them, you can look at them. And I will link down below all the videos that I've done on any of these topics before, which will go into a lot more detail just on that one subject. But I wanted to cover all 5 real quick in this video for you guys. Do me a favor, let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them there. I will answer you, and I love to hear from you guys. Smash the like button before you leave. Thumbs up always helps the channel, and we 100% appreciate it from you guys. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. Don't forget to hit the bell so you're notified when I put out new content. And you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Flippin' Hippos across all social media. Until next time, you guys have a good night.